Well, greetings and hello there, everybody. It's me, your beloved Star Wars dad, Nooch Too Good. In the search for content, you guys brought up something on a stream the other day that you thought would be kind of fun to look at, or kind of interesting, or maybe kind of annoying to look at. The top 10 most annoying characters in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. There were a lot of suggestions. I'll give you the honorable mentions at the end. A lot of these I included there's a list. A lot of these I included because they're annoying me lately. And I'm looking right now at Reva and Chopper, and let's take a look. So this is me facing off against Reva and Chopper in Grand Arena. And you know what? I generally succeed with this counter. It's not a counter that fails a lot. The Phoenix are really good against Reva. Now, even with there's a Kron out right now that's giving the Inquisitors damage immunity. Even against that damage immunity Kron, it's working really well. But it's annoying. It's really... you gotta kill Reva 3 times, and she is super tanky, beefy, crazy, annoying, obnoxious. The second part of it is, yeah, the Datacron right now are giving everybody damage immunity. That's the second part of it. Really obnoxious. You've got to use Chopper to clear off the buffs. But one of the other annoying things in here, you're going to notice this a few times as we go through. You know, Chopper's got, I don't remember what it's like, 70% chance or 50% chance to assist with his basic when somebody else uses a special. And there are times, I don't know exactly what triggers it, there are times when his assist, even at 4 times speed, like drags out for like 3 or 4 seconds. And I don't know what triggers it. I haven't really taken the time to look at it. Some of you guys have told me in chat what's got that triggered. But so it's 2 things with this battle that are really annoying me, because the Phoenix are like the automatic counter for Reva, and they just work. They just take care of Reva, which makes sense because you get it, Phoenix versus Inquisitors, Rebels, etc. But it's really been driving me nuts lately with this counter with those 2 things. Reva just takes forever. I mean, we're already a minute and a half in, and she's still not dead yet, and I got to deal with the other guys after I get done with that. These battles have been dragging out to 5 minutes for me, and then Chopper in there throwing in his stuff, you know, just taking forever. Let's go to the end of this battle here. I'd have to find one of those Chopper moments, but regardless, it's 4 minutes in, and we finally got through it. It's just a big beefy team, and it's really annoying to get through, and Chopper stalls it out along the way. Coming up next, your pal and mine, Canderous Ordo in Conquest. Does it get much more annoying? By the way, get up off the ground. We don't want to look at the top of your head. Look at the top of my head. The hair's all going away. Anyway, when you run up against Canderous Ordo in Conquest, it's gonna be super annoying. Even if you win, it's going to be dragged out. There's going to be dots all over the place, and he's never going to stop taking turns. This is a 2-year-old video from Viper 7PL. I think I'll put the link in the description. It's just showing what Canderous can do in Conquest and what he does to you regardless of what's going on. I mean, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Does he take this many? I don't remember him taking this many attacks. But look at all the dots. They've all got dots now, and they're all going to die. Canderous Ordo, I haven't had this happen to me in a while. This is more obnoxious than I've even been experiencing. I'd have to take a look at the the mechanics of that, but regardless, I mean, you can see the guys whoever in this video just try to click on him and make him stop, and he won't stop. Canderous Ordo in Conquest, if you don't control him, I always try to target him first. Whenever he's on any team, he gets on these Old Republic teams, and he also gets onto the Mandalorian teams. You gotta kill him first, because if you don't kill him first, he'll do this to you and wreck your life. And it's a quick video, but it's an annoying video. Canderous Ordo on Conquest, super annoying. I can't stand the guy. And how about we stick with our Conquest scene for a little bit? Similarly to Canderous Ordo, if you get in the wrong situation with Sabine and or Ezra on the Phoenix, just forget about it. You may never take another turn again in your life while these two just go and go and go and go, and it seemingly never ends. This video posted by H. Bell from 3 years ago. Just watch Sabine go off here. Now, this is, Ezra can do the same thing, by the way, but it's just an endless stream of constant fire. and KRU is kind of built for this, right? Like, they'll probably never actually kill him this way. She could just probably do this for 5 minutes straight. I think something's going to happen happen here. It's a little different, but Sabine will drive you bonkers in Conquest. I don't know why they built these Conquest teams. We've got one more Conquest. I don't know if I'm going to do it next or later, but these teams in Conquest, they put these modifiers in there that just make them brutal to play against. So in addition to having Canderous Ordo taking endless, non-stop turns, we turn our attention to Sabine Wren. There she goes again. There she goes again. She's off. She's on a racer, riding down the track, firing at you over and over again, getting stabbed in the stomach, but it will not deter her with a lightsaber. Yes, she maybe should have melted, but she's just melting you in the meantime. Sabine, super duper obnoxious, and there's no better demonstration here than KRU to absorb the blows and just let her shoot over and over. Is she going to stop? How long is this video? I guess she's done. Wow. Let's pull our attention away from Conquest for a minute, because that's stressing me out a bit. Hondo Ohnaka. Now, let me tell you something about all of these characters put together. Some of these I've got videos of me doing, and some are other people's videos. It is very difficult to find videos out there of people failing in battles, which is why when I have some fails, I try to put my fails out there. I think it's a lot of fun to experience it together and watch me fail and watch me fail over and over and over again. I know you guys enjoy it anyway, but it's hard to find videos of people having trouble against Hondo, so I've got a video of me having trouble against Hondo. Now, Hondo's a guy that, so I get this narrowed down, and I think I eventually I don't remember if I take him out here or not, but so this is very early on, but I started coming across my first Hondos, not really realizing you shouldn't use special abilities on him, because he loads up, 8,000 protection up and heals and everything else, but Hondo is a guy here, and if you don't handle it right, if you don't do it right, he just keeps recovering everything, and just becomes impossible to kill. So we're gonna spend the next minute and a half trying to kill. Look at that! Oh, he recovered everything he had. That's exciting. Congratulations to Hondo for recovering all of his health and protection along the way. So since this time, I've learned how to deal with Hondo. I still don't come across him very often, and I think people should stick him on those scoundrel teams in Grand Arena, just because if he's the last man standing, look at him just recover stuff. Every time you do a special ability, he's recovering health and protection. And honestly, I'm going to say, I think that's how it works, but I'm not I'd have to take a look at the kit again to remember to understand. But I think that when you use special abilities, he ends up just recovering a bunch of health protection. Although it's not happening right there, is it? Is it like passive? Is it ever? I think it's every time you gain a buff, maybe. Every time your team gains a buff. Let's see here, when Yoda spreads out buffs. Maybe I'll get it right here and not do it again, but I think it's every time you gain a buff, he recovers health protection. That's what it is, I believe, if I remember right. I could be wrong again and misremembering things, but let's see here. Yoda's going to share. Boom, that's it. That's annoying. I don't know what to... that's the title of the video. I don't know what else to say. It's pretty straightforward. That's annoying that I can't actually put... Whenever I have to change up the way that a character is supposed to work, to do it a different way, to kill the character on the other side and do it the way that's not supposed to work, I'm annoyed. And I'm going to guess that you are too. Now, along similar lines, Sortie. I hate Sortie. I still, to this day, I don't understand how her kit works. I mean, she's getting. I'm gonna look at this one here. She gives spare parts to people, and then she gets spare parts, and they're revived, and then they revive can't be and then VIP, and they gain stealth, and they recover health protection, and she's got VIP, but she doesn't really have VIP, and then whenever you use a special against her, she gains health. I don't know. I don't get how Sortie's kit works. Maybe you guys can explain it to me in the comments, where I'm gonna get through her on this battle, I think, but it just seems like no matter how many times I hit her, how hard I hit her, whatever I do, it's like there's always protection being recovered. There's always bonus protection coming out. Look at that. She just loaded up like 8 gazillion protection up, or bonus protection on herself there when Droideka did a special. So I don't really understand to this day what it is. I do recall, and again, I haven't faced a Sortie in a little while, which is great, because I don't like being annoyed. Do you like being annoyed? I don't like being annoyed. So Grievous is going to take care of her here, and Droideka, this should be right here, yeah. So, see? That's annoying. That's annoying. When Droideka just does massive damage to you, and you just reload a bunch of bonus protection. Is there anything more annoying than that? So I still don't really get our kit. Maybe you can tell me in comments how our kit works. Because I don't get it. I just got to put characters out there that can deal some basics and take her out. Hopefully. I think CLS has done a pretty good job for me against her, and ever since then. But regardless, Swordy annoys the crap out of me. Let's pull it back a little bit here, and let's dial back the clock a little bit. And let's talk about Kylo Ren Unmasked. One of the very first characters released in the game, I think a very early marquee character in the game, Kylo Ren Unmasked. I should have looked at the abilities on all these, but I didn't, whatever. So his Scarred ability, every time he takes damage, he recovers 8% health. And then with his Leader ability, every time he gains a stat, or whenever anybody gains a status effect as First Order, they recover 5% health and protection. So if you damage him with a status effect, meaning a debuff, he's going to recover, if he's the Leader, he recovers 13% health and 5% protection every time you damage him. And if you mod him up right with a truckload of health, he's going to be really, really difficult to kill. Now, this is kind of faded over time. It's not as important anymore. But there was a time in the game when the KRU lead would drive people to insanity, much like me taking 20 attempts on Tier 3 of Secrets and Shadows and driving me to insanity. This is a CLS team out there, the CLS team that you expect to kill everything, and there's R2. This is old school. And, basically, Chewbacca's doing percent health damage, and KRU is resistant to percent health damage. And the rest of the team, he's gaining all the health protection back every time you hit him. And there were a lot of scenarios and a lot of situations where you would get stalled out against Kylo Ren Unmasked. This has faded with time. I know that there are a lot of teams that counter him these days, but sometimes it's fun to turn back the clock and think about the stuff that used to annoy us, because who doesn't want to think about things that not only annoy us now, but annoyed us in the past? I don't want to think about these things. That's what it is. Anyway, KR used to be really, really annoying, and even now, if you come across him and he's a leader, and somehow you ended up with the wrong teams, or you're in lower levels of Grand Arena, you don't have the teams. He could just be an absolute unmovable tank in early rounds of Grand Arena. Anyway, Kylo Ren Unmasked. Now let's pull ourselves back into the present, or recent, past, present, and talk about any Galactic Republic team in Conquest. Any Galactic Republic team. I can't remember what the endurance or endearance or something like that. The ability they get in Conquest, that every time you hit them, you take damage. It is, if you are out of teams, or you don't have the right team, or you are early in Conquest, you come across a Padme team or a Rex team here, forget about it. And the ability is called Steadfast. So if you just watch what happens over here as the Jedi Knight Revan team is doing damage to this Rex clone team, every time they do damage, they watch Yoda here, AoE, and it killed him. It actually went right through him. Can that kill you? I thought it would be like damage that, you can reduces but can't kill you. That's usually how that works. But every time you damage a Galactic Republic team in Conquest, you take damage. So when you do, like there, Yoda takes damage. Here, Yoda takes damage. Although he ended up taking out 5s there. Here, Jedi Knight Revan goes on the yellow on that one. It's just obnoxious. It's just obnoxious. And if you don't have the right team against this, also, it can really do a lot of negative work on your psyche as you're trying to get through these Galactic Republic teams in Conquest. Boy, they put some really crappy, annoying, obnoxious stuff in Conquest. That's for sure. Now, we've started to learn how to deal with. We have counters now for Jedi Master Kenobi and Commander Ahsoka. But regardless, unless you've got a team that is immune to instant defeat, like Baylan Skoll, right? Immune to instant defeat. There's other ones out there. I can't recall them right now. So Night Sister team's in the right situation. But if you don't have a team that's immune to an instant defeat, you got to find a way around these two, because Jedi Master Kenobi grants Commander Ahsoka, just gets rid of all of her cooldowns, gives her a bonus turn, and she eliminates someone right off the bat. And let's watch my old pal Dialar dealing with this. Look at the team he put together. Kylo, Watt, Hux, Zombie, and Old Daka, right behind all his giant chat there. What's going on with that, Dialar? Anyway, You had to come up with just crazy combos of teams to deal with this in the past. And we're starting to have stuff that could deal with it now. Like I mentioned, Balin Skull. It's just this team is Balin Skull meat as it stands right now. We'll see what happens when the Datacron expires. But just so incredibly annoying when you're trying to find, like, if you go up against this team like at a back wall and you've already exhausted your options, you have nothing to do, you're just not going to even try to defeat it. And back in the day, especially when you didn't have instant defeat immunity, because that's what they started to put out in the game. The reason instant defeat immunity is existing in the game now is because of this team. This team has whatever is out there. You've got to deal with that initial combo of Jedi Master Kenobi to Commander Ahsoka and boom, eliminate. Just completely wipe you out. And that, just because that is there every time and you got to deal with it, makes it super annoying. And I will mention again, there are ways to deal with it now. We're all working on it. We're getting better at it. There are counters to do it. Regardless, just the fact that you got to deal with that every single time and think your way around it and maneuver your way, it's super obnoxious. As we move on to our final two most annoying teams in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, let's give a shout out for some what do we call it? Booby prizes. The ones that didn't make the final cut. Suggestions from you guys on stream. Night Sister Zombie's annoying. Enfys Nest, back in the day, she was super annoying, although I like playing with her, but she's annoying. Boush Leia on a Jabba team on defense. Resistance Hero Finn. That whole Zori team can really be obnoxious in the wrong situation. Classic Barriss Ophi. Classic Barriss Ophi recovering the 20% health every time you take damage. Back in the day, man, that was rough. Hey, this team's been annoying me lately. People that don't have, that do have Ezra Exile but don't have Ahsoka yet are throwing him onto the Rey team with Ben Solo. Super obnoxious. It had been a long time for me since I had failed against this with this counter. Starkiller versus Rey, whether there's Ben Solo on the team. You can see we got Sorty over there too, so anyway, but Ezra throws out those initial foresights, which kind of neutralizes Mara Jade right out the bat, because she takes that turn and she can't even actually land any debuffs. And if she's not landing debuffs, then we're not getting turn meter with her and Palpatine, and it just kind of diffuses the whole team. Now, I have beaten this team before, but regardless, I mean, that's pretty much it right there. That's the whole thing. That's the kit and caboodle. Regardless of even when you do beat this team with both Ezra Exile and Ben Solo on there, and I guess you can throw in Sorty for good measure. It is crazy, brutal. It sucks the life out of you. It makes you think about every single little thing you do, and that guess what that is? You know what that is? That's annoying. That's obnoxious. That's ridiculous. That is nobody wants that. Ain't nobody got time for that. So yeah, this team that we've been seeing out there, if you've got Ezra Exile and you want to cause your opponent a lot of pain and heartache, throw that team out there on defense, because I hate it. And it's made me change. I've had to change up the way I'm attacking it and the way that I'm doing my Grand Arena offense. Maybe it'll change here in the near future, but it's just made me change up the way I'm doing everything in Grand Arena. Super annoying, and I did eventually lose this battle. And this was actually the first time I had lost. The first time I'd lost to a Rey team in quite some time, actually. It had been a long time since I had lost to a Rey team like this with my Starkiller team. So, yep, super annoying, and I'm not going to get to the end of it, but trust me, it's a big fat L. It's a big fat L. Even though I did that, I think Rey's about to, she's going to throw an, yep, look at that. Oh, we almost had it. It was so close. And now it's over. As soon as Rey gets that, I'm going to wait. We're going to wait and watch it. I'm going to annoy you right now by waiting and watching. So here see, I can't even target her to get rid of her inspiration. And she comes out of her stance. And, oh wow. We already did in Starkiller there. So, Ben Kenobi has no chance here. So, annoying. And my last one for today, and I think the team that really annoys me the most. This team annoys me the most because everybody throws it on the back wall, and you've got all these teams deal with on the front wall, and you're trying to make sure you leave a team left over for the Tuskens. And I don't have Gas on my roster yet. I think he's a natural counter because you have to kill the Tusken and the Tusken summon at the same time, or get bounty hunters where you can't revive. I mean, you just it's so obnoxious. It's so obnoxious. And here's me going in with my Jedi Knight Revan team, which has been a counter I've used successfully against these Tuskens on more than one occasion. But just the fact I've already taken out, looks like I already took out the warrior, but just the fact that you've got to get the timing right and I think this if I remember right, this battle goes down to the very final couple of seconds here, just because I got to get the timing right. And I think that multiple times, you know, you kill the one Tusken taunt. If you take the Tusken taunt out, it resets their health. They come back. Then you got to get them both in the yellow. You got to get them both in the red so that you can time it out right to take them both out. And over, you probably kill them 7, 8, 9 times in the process, depending on how the battle's going. Boy, it drives me batty. And yeah, like I mentioned, you put them on the back. Here we go. Yeah. So I'm trying to figure it out there. That one's in yellow. This one's in green. I got to attack the green one first to get it in the yellow so that when I do an AoE, I can take them both out at the same time. It's not going to quite work. They're both yellow. Yoda does his AoE and they don't die. Now I got one in red and one in yellow, but Yoda is going to probably take one out here, and I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying to not take one out, and now I have to go with a... yeah, see, I just took out that one. Now it resets, so I got to get it back in the red or the yellow again and try to get the AoE in, and it's just over and over and over and reset, and boy, does it annoy the crap out of me. So there you go. That's my top 10 annoying teams in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Please let me know teams that I missed for you, or teams that maybe did not get honorable mention from me. I'd love to hear from you about teams you think are annoying, because we've all got our things, right? We've all got stuff to deal with. We've all got our burdens to bear. A second. No, look at that. We did it right here. Ta-da! We did it. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Let me know teams that you find are annoying in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. That's my top 10. I hope you have a great day. I will definitely talk to you soon. And always remember, Nooch too good.